Good morning. You've probably heard about the hero called Necrolyte. If you haven't played enough Dota and you shouldn't be looking up videos on how to play heroes in a certain way. Necrolyte is commonly confused as a support who is supposed to get mechanism, wards and other supportive items. I feel the need to let you know that this is not the only way how to play Necro. This build requires you to build him like he needs to do a massive amount of damage. And like any carry / ganker, he shouldn't get support items. The advantage with this ganker, however, is that he only needs to have his target drop below half HP. His ultimate will do the rest. Here's a game where I'm playing Necrolyte like an assassin character. I'm soloing top lane in this game because we had a jungler, and surprisingly, soloing as Necrolyte works fairly well, since you have a heal nuke. So if the enemies are trying to gank you, you can stop them with that. You also get more experience when you're solo laning, which is important because you want to reach level 16 as soon as possible for your ult to become really strong. Notice my starting items. The mantle and the circlet will build into a null talisman, which you shouldn't build into a Dagon until you've got a shadow blade. In this game I got my Dagon at around 15 minutes in. It's important to get the Dagon early so you can start ganking with it, and you should right away. When you've got your Dagon and Shadow Blade, you should always try to gank as soon as everything's off cooldown.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Spoiled. I return. Rot starts at the head.
This wasn't an optimal gank because there were two heroes on the enemy team, and usually you want to pick out single targets. You can try to kill people with someone else around them, but they may disable you enough so that you can't get out and the rest of their team arrives. This build, as you notice, drains a lot of mana, but because of Sadist you regenerate almost everything that you lost during the gank, which makes it a really good ganker when the only thing that's stopping you are cooldowns.
To the grave. There shall be shankers by the acres.
If you also have noticed, it's important to keep your head cool while you're doing this. You want to do as much damage as possible, so you should try to get the Shadow Blade hit in. It makes you deal more damage, but it also makes you have to focus on doing more things right, because with an Nerubian Assassin you have a stun so you can get more time to think. With Necrolyte, however, your stun is what kills. So you should always try to execute everything as quickly as possible to avoid people from getting away. So after you've done the Shadow Blade hit, you just use everything else you have. The heal nuke, the Dagon, and then your ultimate, for a guaranteed kill. Here I'm going to try to kill the same Tiny, however now it's way later in game. He's got Aghanim's, but he still hasn't taken a single point in his ultimate, and I get careless. I'm also not invis before you hear the sound. That's just because of the excellent replay system I mentioned earlier.
A millstone around.
So the only reason I didn't get the kill with my ult and that the Witch Doctor got it is because I fucked up. I used the Shadow Blade hit on him, but I didn't get off my heal nuke until the ult hit. If I would have hit it before, he probably would have died to the ult. He also used his magic stick after I hit the ult, which is obviously not a good thing. All of the replays up until this point were from one game only, and we won that game. I tried it again in another game which we didn't win. I got my Lotars really late and my Dagon even later, but I still managed to get really strong. I'm not going to show you an entire game worth of replays again, so I'll just include some neat ganks.
Lay her down. Can't see the forest. There shall be shankers by the acres.
Dire's bottom tower
Who fells me? The stench of death is upon you. You become feast for the flesh flies. Rancid death.
The Radiant.
You played
That's it for now, and remember, if some loser claims that Necro is nothing but a support, just show him this video, and the scoreboard for the second game, in which I was doing worse compared to the first game. Okay, good night.